And if he does, then we're a better team. It's going to make Clemens better. It's going to make him better. It's going to make Josh better. I want Josh to do the same thing. And I want Trey Dickerson to do the same thing.
How is Trey now after a knee injury, I guess, last week?
He's fine. Yeah, he'll be fine.
You expect he'll play then?
Yeah. Yep.
This is a team that your guys are very familiar with. They've all played together in the summer. There's
Right.
even some former high school teammates. How does all that play into this game?
I don't know. I don't really think anything of it. You know, it might have more, you know, as far as they're concerned, you know, that familiarity, and they kind of know each other. I mean, Josh has been playing against Bohannon since they were kids. Josh and Wes were teammates, like you said. I mean, I really don't look at it any differently.
Have you had a chance to sit down with Gabe since he's gotten back? And how's
No,
his...
I have not, but he'll be at practice today. You know, I think it was important for him to do that, to go home. I know it was, and I'm happy that he was able to stay for a little bit of, you know, he got there Saturday and left Wednesday at 5 their time. So he's there for, I think, enough time to grieve with his family the way he wanted to, but he's back in time to prepare for our next game, which was important to him.
Do you see his minutes being affected at all by that layoff?
No.
Considering he hasn't practiced? You talked about him playing more minutes maybe last week. Is that something you'd like to do?
Yeah, I think he deserves to play more minutes. Yeah, so I mean, my intention would be to play him whatever minutes. Now, sometimes you get into the game, you get some foul trouble, or he's struggling for some reason. You know, you never really know. But he's played well enough to get more minutes, and I got to figure out what he did.
Last year, I think you joked that Peter, nobody took more shots per minute in maybe college basketball than Peter, at least the first month of the year. He seems to be taking better shots now, and his shot selection's better. What do you attribute to him growing as an offensive?
Scott, I mean, you know, you don't ever want to be categorized as a shooter or a driver. You want to, if you're a perimeter player, you got to be all the above. Okay, you got to be an assist guy, you got to be a driver, you got to be a guy who gets to the free throw line, you got to make jumpers, you got to make threes. And now you're hard to guard. You know, if you're one-dimensional, you're real easy to guard. And you're seeing a guy, I think, that's a little bit more versatile than he was last year.
Your defensive numbers are kind of night and day compared to last year. Field goal percentage, defense. What did you guys do differently, you know, in the offseason to prepare for this, and how have you guys performed differently than maybe you did a year ago?
Yeah, I don't know that we did anything specific other than emphasize what we didn't do last year. And you can show it to them empirically, you can show them the numbers, you can show them clips. But at some point, you have to decide, are we going to be a team that stops people? Or are we going to be a team that trades baskets? Because if you're trading baskets, you're usually losing. And so I'm proud of our guys in the sense that, you know, they played better defense. So we didn't play better defense on Friday night. You know, I think in that game in particular, you know, I think a lot of focus was on the beginning of the second half where we didn't play well. But we didn't play well for 40 minutes. We got outplayed for 40 minutes. Our defense wasn't what it needed to be in either half, nor was our offense. So, you know, we have a lot of work to do in that regard. But I do think we are more committed to being a better defensive team. You know, that's one of the issues you look at with Clemens in particular. You know, you want to say, okay, we haven't scored as much recently. We want to make a move and get him out of the starting lineup. Well, you can do that. But he's typically a defensive guy that changes things for us. So you know, he'll still be in the starting lineup.
What do you feel like you need to see just performance-wise across the board against UNI?
We just got to be better across the board. You know, our transition game, both offensively, defensively, has to be better. UNI runs, we run. Okay, Iowa State runs, we run. We lost the transition battle Friday night. Both ways, any way you cut it. All right, so now you go back to half court. What was our defense like half court? Well, I guess it was pretty good with regard to how Woodbury played Niang, but it was pretty poor and how we played some other guys, whether it be not getting out the three-point shooters, not containing triple penetration, things like that. Giving up 13 rebounds to Dustin Hogue, you know, that kind of thing. So it's guarding your man, rebounding the ball, and you know, paying attention to detail with regard to strengths and weaknesses of the guy you're guarding. Or if we're in a rotation mode, strengths and weaknesses of the guy that you just picked up.